Well, thank you everybody for being here. This is the Whitman Recreation Commission meeting on May 29th, 2025. And we can start the meeting. Do we have how do we do this? Motion to start the meeting or?
Oh, I think you just can open the meeting.
Oh, we're just opening the meeting. Mm-hmm. Okay, opening the meeting. The meeting is open.
But I'll motion to approve the minutes from the February meeting.
Second.
Great.
Joe, are you good with that?
Yes.
Cool.
So, since this is our meeting in May and we have had the town meeting, we have to do our reorganization. So currently Ryan is our interim chair and Kathleen is our secretary. So those are the two positions that are available. Joe's a member. We have on June 30th we will have 2 openings for the Recreation Commission. 2 more members. Kristen and Angela have both resigned, so they won't be able to. They're not here for the rest of their term. So June 30th is when we can have 2 more people join us. So for right now, this is it. So, we can certainly, as if we get new members, but we do need a chair and we do need a secretary. So.
Well, I guess, do we need to do each one individually, or can we just motion to keep it as is?
If that's what you all want to do, that's fine with me, or whatever you. It's your.
Yeah, discussion. I mean, I vote to keep the positions as they are until we get 2 new members, and I don't know if we can reorg after that or not. Or.
So for now, sure, we can say for now, it'll be the same.
Sure, seconded.
Okay, thank you both so much. Right, which brings us to member recruitment. Because I was just explaining that Angela and Kristen, their terms are up June 30th. They're not being renewed. Kristen did resign, and Angela said that she resigned, but she hasn't officially resigned, but her term is up on June 30th. So we'll have 2 positions available. So if anybody knows of anybody who would like to join our wonderful group of fun people, you can have them apply through Lori O'Brien, she's the administrative assistant for the select board, or they can contact me and I can give her information as well. There's an app.
Sorry, what's Lori's last name?
O'Brien.
O'Brien, thank you.
And she gives everybody an application, right, Joe? Was she the one that you got the application
upstairs, right?
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. So she handles that, and then the application is shown to the select board and it's voted on.
There was somebody from my school that seemed interested, so I gave him Kathleen's information, and
yes,
hopefully he'll fill out an application.
Great. All right, we won. Very nice. Great. All right, so we have to now chat about Family Fun Day, which is the 4th of July, which is in the past. We have had an event on the 4th of July, and we have a program. We have the parade for the kids on the basketball court. We have a DJ that announces the different relay races. We have the Cub Scouts come and serve food for purchase. People purchase it, so it's like a fundraiser for them. We have Sweeties Shaved Ice coming. We usually have bouncies that we have gotten in the past from various bouncy places around here. And so that is a cost. The supplies for ribbons and prizes from the parade and things like that is a cost. Last year we had a face painter, and we also pay for the staff to run the program. So run the events, run the the parade and run the relay races. So it's a lot of fun. And then in the past, the pool has been open. It's been a free day at the pool for Whitman residents to come and enjoy the pool for 2 hours. So all in all, from last year's pricing, I added everything up, and that's about $5,000 for everything that we did last year. So what we need to be aware of is there is a budget issue in the town of Whitman, and we have a challenge where how we pay for that. So usually we pay for that coming from the revolving fund.
Mm-hmm.
So currently the revolving fund, what is going to probably end up happening is the revolving fund will basically take care of all of our supplies and equipment for the park and for the pool. It will basically pay for the pool. So there isn't a lot of extra money in there to have these events, unfortunately. I didn't mention, but the egg hunt was really very successful. We had a great time. We had lots of people come. Our wonderful Easter Bunny was fabulous. And so the kids had a great time, and the National Honor Society was fabulous too. But that cost about $2,300 to put on. So that money usually comes from the revolving fund, and we pay for all the races because it's an event, and then we don't really get any. We pay it out. We don't get, we don't charge an entry fee or anything like that. So it's what the recreation department has done in the past to put on events for the town, for the families. So we have to decide whether we want to have a 4th of July event, if we want to scale it back, if we want to go with what we have, or, I guess there's lots of ways to run it. We do have some supplies left over from last year. We have some ribbons. We have some like bike decorating things. That the supplies for that doesn't really cost a lot. It costs probably about $300 for like the ribbons and the fun little necklaces and stuff for the prizes for the parade. The DJ costs $500. The face painter costs $500. The park program staffing was about anywhere between $800 to $1,000 to pay for them, and the pool staff was about that as well.
Yeah.
So would an option be to hold it but not open the pool, like just as one thing to cut?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, there's lots of options, so you can really
I've been
discuss
thinking about it because it kind of what we had talked about if we had cut. The hardest thing to cut is one of the bigger ticket items, which is the bouncy house, because I think that might be something that people might come to expect when they go to have. But I don't know if we could scale back, because isn't it like 3 separate bouncy house things, or is it just the obstacle course and one bouncy house that we got last year? Like, I didn't know.
Right. Last year we spent like $1,500 on the bouncies and the slides. There was like a slide, and there was like a ball toss, and there was there was 2 slides, and then there was one of those like the bouncy house where you just hop in it.
How much was it for the staff again?
It was about anywhere between $800 to $1,000, depending on what their hourly rate was, because we pay them time because it's 4th of July. They get time and a half.
And what were they doing, like, down there? Is it staff that, works at the pool?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
It's already the staff that runs the park program and runs the pool program, or works at those. So whatever hourly rate they were. So if they were a first-year person, they were $15, but they got $15 plus $7.50. So they got, $22.50 an hour to work. So they worked from like 9 to 1. And then the pool was like 12:30 to 4:30.
I do think so. Even though the staffing's expensive, if we still have things like relay races and the bike decorating, it would be hard to cut that staff because you'd have to It would just be like whatever volunteers
You would still
we can
need
get,
that
you know?
staff. You
Yeah.
would need those people.
That's what I mean. But pool,
Right.
in terms of the pool, I feel like it might be an easy cut to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Should we kind of figure out what we're going to cut and package that all into a vote, or
Yeah. Well, is there a budget that we
we
need
just
to
got to
meet
vote on a budget?
for this? So yeah,
No, it's really whatever was spent, because in the past, like we did, because we were able to afford this, but that's what we did last year.
sure.
We're not going to be able to afford it this.
What can
cost
we
last
afford
year.
this year?
Currently, and it's anything that I have in the revolving fund before the program fees came in for this year was about $34,000 is what I had before the new program amount of money started coming in, which was in the beginning of April.
Okay.
So now, like, that money plus the $34,000 was helping to take care of the salaries, the payroll, basically, because what we do is we don't make money. We just, it comes in, it goes out. It's just like it's status quo kind of thing. But then, like, sometimes there was extra money. I won't say extra money, but it's that's not the right word for it, I don't think. But and so then we were able to put the programs on. So, but now if we have to pay for all of the pool staff without having that given to us from the general fund, because the budget is so tight, we'll have to use that revolving fund money to basically pay for all the supplies, the pool, running the pool, all the electricity that goes along with it. We won't have any money given to us in the general fund, like allotted from the town.
So is there a
We
number
have to
that
pay for it all together.
we should try to stick to? I don't know how to make a decision without knowing like what number we should aim for. Do you know what I mean? Like what to cut versus.
Well, I think
what
it
not to
depends
cut.
on what you want to do. If you want to keep having the parade and the relay races, then we just have those, and that's all we have.
Mm-hmm.
The bouncy houses, I think. I mean, you could limit that. I mean, if you're going to say like $1,000 to use to
Okay.
pay for it, I don't know. It's like it's such a hard thing because I don't know like how much the pool's going to cost.
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, I have a general idea about what the pool's going to cost, but it costs about $10,000 to $12,000 to run that pool.
Mm-hmm.
And then
For the
that's
season.
barring any sort of issues
Any
that
issue
we run
with
into. It's
any
all-
Typically
if the
you'll
pump-
run into.
if the
Yeah.
pump goes, or like last year we had a big electrical issue we had to pay for, like, so all of that gets taken out of the revolving fund,
So if
and
we
you can't
did-
really like figure out like what you're gonna do. Like, I mean, you can run a program and just have the parade and just have the relay races and
and have vendors show up so that there's still like
Yeah.
because we didn't pay like
no,
CDs
they
or
don't. We don't
anything.
pay them. They just come.
work.
We just invite them to come, and they just
Yeah.
come.
So the only expense
It just depends
would
what
be
you want to.
the staffing and the DJ, because we kind of already booked the DJ.
We did book the DJ
Mm-hmm.
already,
Um,
which is $500, but we don't need the face painter.
no.
You don't. I mean, you don't need really bouncies at all. That was like just something we were able to add in because we were able to.
The bouncy, you can say all of a sudden you look at the numbers and you can afford to get the bouncy. I mean, you can call if you have the parade on what, like, is it a Saturday, right? Could you call them
it's
like
Friday.
on Thursday, say, yeah, we have the money now, can you bring a bouncy? I mean, they'd probably bring it down. I mean, you don't
Yeah,
need
no, they're really good. All
Yeah.
the different companies are
Well, they
very
use the one up-
amenable.
but isn't it Essex Street? They have a company right there?
Busy bee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just grab the one they have on
We've
the
used
lawn.
Busy
With
Bee,
the-
we've used Bonnie's.
Yeah.
I know there's another one in the area too.
Whatever gives it the best price, yeah.
So
What about Whitman Day? They're having, I think, June 14th, I think
That's
it
the
is.
14th, yeah.
If you set up a table and maybe ask for donations, or I'll be collecting for the pool, selling pool passes and stuff. Get the money on.
So we do all of our registrations is all online.
Oh, okay.
So we when we do pool passes and like pay for what at the pool, we do have the credit card availability, so we do that there. They did actually, Whitman Day did reach out and ask if we were going to have a table. We've really just had tables just to give out flyers and not like.
Well, you can also announce that you have 2 openings if anybody wants to apply for it.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So if we, just in terms of like what we need to vote for, if we decided to keep the parade, the relay, the races, and the vendors, that's kind of all free. And then staffing DJ would end us at like $1,500.
Yep.
It's like a decent amount of money to set aside for it.
Yeah. So we'll just vote on that number and then. I mean,
Or maybe
we
just
should
allocate money to.
We should go a little bit above and expect not to spend it. Should we do 2,000 and then,
we have a donation bucket that we put out. We might get $100.
Yes.
Well, and in the past we haven't done a number, right? We've just said allocate funds to, right? But if we like allocate knowing that it'll be
we
about
don't need
that.
a hard number.
Yeah.
If we don't need a hard number, then we can just vote to allocate the funds. And,
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make the motion to allocate the funds for the staffing for the relay races and the parade and for the DJ.
Second.
Yes.
Me, with that stuff that they left you today, you don't know what it is. Check with the bank.
Yeah, we didn't say anything.
You might be surprised.
You never know.
I wonder if June O'Leary left it there.
I don't know. It looked like it had come from someone's filing system at some point.
Yeah, might have been June O'Leary.
Could have been.
Because she used to be like this years ago
There was an envelope of just receipts
with bank books.
with the bank book in it that was in my little mailbox there. I was just
Was
going through it.
was there 2 bank books, right?
Yeah.
If they're the same bank, say is there still this account still
I didn't
open?
get
Or,
any email or notes.
FindMyMoney.com.
There wasn't anything in there.
Well,
well, I was just telling her.
Yeah.
Right, that's what happened
It's a
to
puzzle.
my ex-wife when she was alive. Her money, and when it was all put together, insurance things and everything like that, and we filed for it. Ended up being $165,000.
Oh my lord!
Just wild. Yeah. So who knows? There's money out there.
Went into her trust fund for my son.
All right. So okay, we'll have a scaled back version of the 4th of July event.
Cool.
Now, do you get any funds at all from the town?
For
A budget for recreation?
yes,
Okay. June 4th, the schools are supposed to come back with a number,
yes,
right? So it may help a lot if the number is low, like we want it to be.
yes.
If it isn't, town meeting's gonna be a mess.
Super town meeting, maybe.
Huh? Super town meeting, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I know they're planning for that for sure, and that is a challenge.
Right.
The town of Whitman has to make up $1 million.
Because we don't know what each department can get monetarily until we know what the school budget's asking for.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully they'll drop down to the 4% instead of the 6, 7 point something.
Right.
So we'll see.
Sorry. All right. So moving on to the next event, where I have to chat about the pool. I don't know if you drove by the pool today, but the cover is off.
Mhm.
So they're starting to open the pool. We paid about $4,500 from the general revolving fund and from the general fund and the revolving fund to pay for the chemicals to open up the pool. And that's just the opening. That's not the cost of actually opening the pool. It's just the chemicals for the pool, which usually lasts about 3/4 of the way through the summer, depending on temperatures, of
Weather,
course,
yeah.
as to how much chlorine is used.
Yeah. Was there a big increase from last year? What was the chemical price last year? Was
It was a little bit higher. It was about $500 higher.
Okay.
It's price is increasing.
Everything's going up.
Yep, everything.
Now, does the DPW open it, or do you have to have somebody come and do it?
T&D Pool Company comes and opens it up. The water department and the DPW work together to turn on they do the electrical part
Right,
and
yeah. Okay.
and turn the water on.
Yeah.
Open up the
Okay.
bathhouse. They're phenomenal.
They do a good job.
They do a great job. So far, I've sold about 12 pool passes online, so that's at $140 a piece. We have 3 people who have signed up for the swim team. We need at least 10 people to run it. And swim lessons, I have about 6 families who have signed up for swim lessons so far.
That's good.
So one of the ways to help not have the pool cost so much money is to limit the hours, to change the hours and to change the staffing. Can't really change the staffing when the pool's open. We need to have 3 lifeguards on if there's a lot of people in the pool. Usually from the 3 to, so the pool's open from 12 to 7 on the weekends and 3 to 7 on the weekdays. So usually on the weekdays, 2 lifeguards is enough and a gate attendant. But on the weekends, there's 3 lifeguards and a gate attendant. So I can, to help, because the pool costs so much money to run, one of the ways to deal with it is to change the hours. So it'd be like, say, 12
So it'll
to
be
5.
less salary money.
12 to 5 instead of 12 to 7 or
Mm-hmm.
Those types of things. Or if I don't have a lot of people sign up for swim lessons, the pool opens for the park program at 10. The park program uses it from 10 to 2:30, and there's nothing happening in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no, like, that would be a big, I don't want to say savings because it's not, it's crushing. I don't want to do this at all. It just breaks my heart to even have to think about it. But one of the options is to not open the pool at all. But we've already spent the money to open the pool. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So the pool's opening. So now it's changing how it's operated, I guess you could say.
12 to 5 would be a reasonable cut to make. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that would, like, really interfere with, like, people's plans or people's day. And would probably add up pretty fast, too, if you're cutting 2 hours off.
Right.
Yeah.
And if for some reason more money comes in than you were expecting, would it mean you turn around and say, well, then we can be open 12 to 6?
Right.
Right. I mean, employees, they'll stay, right?
Yeah, I have a good crew, people.
Yeah.
So a lot of them the majority of the pool staff returned, the majority of the park program staff returned. They do have to hire another gate attendant and 2 more lifeguards, as well as some members for the park program counselors. But we've interviewed and we have a great list of people to work with. So glad that so many of them wanted to come back.
That's
Which is
good.
great. So that's where we are with the pool. So the hourly rates for the pool staff, starting is like $16 an hour for a lifeguard, and if they're a gate attendant, hourly rate was $15. So we pay everybody the minimum wage when they start off, but because the lifeguards have a certification, they get an extra $1 an hour. And then, like, it has increased either $1.50 or $1 an hour depending on their certifications, because they have to take care of their certifications.
So, I'm sorry, lifeguard 17, gate attendant 15? Or gate attendant 16?
Yeah, so starting lifeguard, if they're starting this year, would be 16, but if they, in the past, what we've done is up it another $1 an hour because they're coming back for the next year. And then the gate, and if they have water safety instruction and lifeguard training, then we've increased it again. So, and then the pool director, we are hiring a new pool director. So in the past, the last pool director was receiving $21 an hour. So, and then the park program councils are the same. Like they start off at 15, but then if they're an area coordinator, they get more. If they're like the directors, they've gotten more. So last year we had to decide if that was okay to keep that process. This, I don't know, is it a process? Is it? I don't know what the right words to like say.
And everybody was happy with it. I'm talking about the employees, so
Yeah, they were fine.
there you go. Yeah,
Most of them came back, right?
Yeah, they did.
right,
There you go.
exactly right. Yeah, they came back.
So you've interviewed for the pool director position too, or?
I had yes, Lauren Walsh, who is she's a swim coach and ran the Boys and Girls Club swimming program. So she's recently moved to Whitman, and she ran the mask program, which is the group of people that we did swim meets with when we had a swim team. Last year we didn't have a swim team. The year before that we had a swim team. The year before that we had two swim team years. But the COVID year we did not have a swim team.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed to have a swim team that
It
year.
was tough for everybody.
So do we need to say yes, that's okay to
what?
To the
keep the
sorry,
salaries
motion
and
to
everything?
to approve the staffing salaries for the pool, and it was just pool, or was it park?
Well, I was saying the park too, but that's the next item on the agenda to talk about is the park program, but we can do it.
Oh yeah, so I motion
separately.
to approve the salaries for the pool staff.
Second.
Yes.
All right, we're on the second page. And we go. So the park program, we have about 230 campers signed up so far.
Nice.
So the program runs a 6-week program. It starts June 30th and runs through August 8th. There is a possibility that the park program director, she has asked the staff if they are able to stay for the 7th week. We've only advertised for 6 weeks, but the 7th week would be the 11th, August 11th through the 15th. So the way that the schedule is, so in the past we've only been able to go to the 2nd week in August because of the way the calendar went. So she's asking if it's possible to have a 7th week of camp. So we had agreed on 6 weeks of camp. So she polled the staff, and she does have enough people to do it.
Yeah.
That would just so if she wants to, we can add that to the registration and then publicize it that there's going to be a 7th week.
Can we set a minimum of not enough families sign up for it, or
Yeah.
and cancel it if not, so we don't have to pay the staff for a week if there's like 10 kids going?
Mhm.
Um,
So the way that it works with the park program staff is that when we hire them, they all know that it's camper dependent. So if for whatever reason one week we only have 50 kids, but we have all these counselors, because we have two to three per group depending on the size of the group.
oh, okay.
So they know that when they're hired that they may be working, but they might not.
Okay.
But we also hire them because we have so many kids. You know, their kids are high school, college kids are going on vacation with their families and things like that. So it hasn't been a problem. Like it looks like we have a lot of staff, but then many of the weeks there's not a full staff because some of them are on vacation. So they when they're hired, they understand that.
All right, cool. Well, then I'll motion to add the 7th week.
Okay.
Seconded. Sorry.
Yes.
Right.
Who was the person that
Everyone
requested
was
it? I missed the name. You said she had asked staff.
Oh, Abby Raposa, who's the
Okay,
park
cool.
program director.
Thank you.
We were looking at the calendar. She's like, there's like another week we could have it. And it is because like that next week is when school sports start up. Mm-hmm. And that's when the majority of people were going back to college, if they're college kids. But when she polled them, obviously they knew that. So they were aware. They said they could do that if possible. So far we've had, and that's averages about 50 kids a week, or so.
It's a lot of kids.
So, which is awesome. And now is the time when we get a lot more registrations that come in because people are like, okay,
figure
what do I do
it
with
out.
my kids for the summer? Oh, wait, the park program. So I have reached out to the school. They usually send it out, what they call school status now. They send out the flyers for that, for anything town oriented. Yeah. They're really good about doing that. So hopefully they'll be able to send that out. I've posted it on like the PTO pages to publicize it as well, and it's on our Facebook page.
Let's see if we can put it on the thing in front of the town hall.
Oh, that's a good idea. I can ask Todd to do that.
Yeah, have Todd put it, what you want.
He put the flyer out for the Easter egg hunt. It's hard to read though. I guess I could make it so I just sign up for the park program. Yeah. Change the flyer a little bit because it's very detailed with everything on it. But yes. So
do we have park program salaries to vote on?
Oh yes. So that's similar. So the director was $21. The assistant director was $19. These are two different directors from years past, so it's not as much and not high. I don't know. The people who were there before had been there for a while.
Oh, gotcha.
So the area coordinators are at $18 an hour, and the counseling staff is between $16 and $17, depending on how long they've been here, and the new hires start at $15.
Motion to approve the park program staff.
Second.
Yes.
Great. Thank you so much.
No facts.
I know. It's the machine. It just. Yeah.
Oh, I heard somebody come in though. Or use the bathroom or something.
Oh, really?
The door's ajar.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's not open. Like the.
I know. That's why I brought my key in case I had to open it.
Great. So I've already talked about the budget. How we're just gonna have to wait it out. Mary Beth said that she would know more by Monday as to how we're proceeding with that. And Dan explained that we're waiting for the.
Yeah, because I know the Hanson's taken a hard line on what they can afford to give to the schools because it's crippling both towns. So.
As well as all the other safety services that are so necessary to run a town,
Yeah,
so it's like
right. I mean,
such a challenge.
I got an email from a woman, a young lady, who was upset at what I said at our selectmen's meeting about, the school budget being so the fact that if we have to cut down employees, police and fire and DPW, you can't do that. You can't have cut a couple of firefighters and all of a sudden you have an incident where you need them and they're not around.
Mm-hmm.
That costs lives,
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah,
plus teachers work 180
position.
days, firefighters work 24/7. Same with the police and DPW. So,
Yes, a challenge for everybody, all around.
yeah.
All right, so I explained the how much the pool costs, and that doesn't include electricity. Electricity is really expensive, as we all know.
Yep.
Electricity is really expensive to run the pool, the pumps for the pool. So hopefully we'll be all right.
How old are the pumps?
So we traded one out. The DPW had one a couple years ago, and then we have one that we spent money on to refurbish.
Yeah.
So we have one on hold.
Yeah, we have one on deck.
Okay.
One on deck that was
feeling, yeah.
refurbished.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so we're
Emergency
hoping
situation.
there's any issues like we have it. So hopefully we won't have to use it. And they redid all of the filtration system last year.
Did they do the electrical panel last year too?
Yes,
So
it was
Maybe.
a big one last year.
maybe
As long as-
magically, we'll save a little money on electricity because it's a new electrical system, but probably not. I don't think they did much for the efficiency of it. Just
Don't count
They had
on it.
to they had to redo the whole box and
Yeah.
like the circuit, the lines that went underground and everything else. Yeah, the DPW, which is so wonderful. Like the DPW is able to assist with that, and so you don't have that extra cost. But
Oh yeah, that would be.
and they're phenomenal with all of that because they do so much.
Yeah.
They do all of the maintenance for everything. Bruce and his crew are just absolutely phenomenal. Can't say enough about them. And the water department, they're just great people.
Now we have cameras in the park, so when you get some idiots that try and do some ridiculous things.
We did have a lot of vandalism last year
Yeah.
too. We had to pay for the entire pool to be deep cleaned because we had challenges. We've had graffiti all over the bathhouse. I think the gate system that we have that was created by our facilities by Todd, like what is that called? How did he get that? This
What?
the money that he used to purchase that was from the town.
Oh, probably maybe went to the finance committee and they took some money out of the reserve.
Or there was a name for it though. I'm
rainy day.
Huh?
That was a rainy day fund that we all have. There was he explained it to me, and I'm sorry I'm not doing it justice, but he created it, and he was able to get the whole fencing redone so that it's the bathhouse is shut off from people being able to walk
Oh, really?
in it without like it being open.
Oh, good.
So, it helped us a lot last year. We did have challenges with people jumping on the fencing and like pulling out the rails. But the fence company was great and came back and fixed that for us too.
Did it squeezy?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that definitely helps.
Well, with the cameras there, I look at it this way: if you get kids that are doing that, and you know who the kids are,
Yeah,
you tell their parents it's going to cost them.
They caught the kids right on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, waving like an idiot.
All right. We're grateful for the cameras. All right. Let's see. What's next on the agenda? Got the food. The attendance. I have different little notes here.
Ooh,
Is that all? The fields. The field update. Obviously the baseball season and lacrosse season and soccer season and softball season are well underway. Lacrosse and soccer are using Memorial Field. Whitman Little League uses Memorial Field as well as Whitman Middle School. And they
Can they
also
still use Whitman
use
Middle?
yes,
there's
there's
two fields open.
two fields open over there. The softball fields are being used for storage of materials. So the DPW recreated the lower park field to be a softball field. So they're using that main one.
Oh, good.
Unfortunately, that was like they lost two, and the DPW was able to make that softball field. So
I
that was
haven't been
great.
down there. Well, I was at the park the other day. I didn't notice. They just moved the
They
bases.
took
They
the
didn't add any soil or
mound.
anything?
They took the mound out.
Yeah.
So
One day
And-
that field needs new soil. It's
Yeah, they put soil. They do put soil in it. They do, but the weeds grow, and that's what gets flooded too when you.
Yeah.
The geese are swimming in it.
yeah.
It's kind of funny. So that's where we're at for field usage. We have had a couple baseball teams wanting to rent the field, so that's a bonus. That pays for the porta potties, or part of the porta potties. So that's the other expense that we have. There's no more money in the field maintenance fund, the field revolving fund that we have, because that was when we were renting the fields out on a regular basis. That money was coming in and went right back out to pay for the porta potties, or for any field updates that we had. We helped. We use those funds to help the DPW get that. It was like a tractor to like grade and aerate the fields. So like we were able to help with that with the funds that came in, but we haven't had a lot of people renting the fields recently because the people that were renting the fields now have their own facilities. So
Was
they
that
don't
Venom
need them.
or-
They don't need them anymore.
Was that what the name was? It was Venom, the like
One was definitely
Venom
that.
was one of them,
softball
They do a
league.
lot of it inside now
Yeah,
in
they are.
warehouses and industrial parks.
Yeah. So they don't
Turf.
need us anymore.
So will we not have porta potties for the summer?
We have porta potties through June,
Okay, cool.
but we will not have them after that.
Who had the party, the, what do you call it? The party,
The United Rentals,
Yeah. huh? The rentals, right?
United Rentals, yeah.
The one behind Town Hall, by the gate for the field up top.
Yep, that's ours.
Does it right?
And there's one that's behind the bathhouse,
Who cleans them?
United Rentals.
Okay, because I noticed when they
They come once a week.
when they had the concerts in the park, right? People were complaining that they were filled right up. So it's almost like I'm wondering if they skipped a week or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I
It's just
haven't
a lot
heard
of people
anything.
using
There's a lot of people using them, so they will. After June, they'll be gone.
Mhm.
So there's one at Memorial Fields, there's one behind the bathhouse, and there's one at Upper Park.
Upper Park saved our life at the Memorial Day the other day. Dylan needed to go to the bathroom and Town Hall was locked, so we ran
Yeah.
to the upper field porta potty.
I know
But if there's a thing to cut, that's not a bad thing to cut. If we're trying to save money.
Plus, you don't need one at Memorial. You got the police station right there.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's the thing, is Town
we
Hall's usually
didn't.
open.
So the reason why we ended up having the porta potties is because, like, for COVID, when it was COVID time, like you had to have that,
Right.
and they weren't opening the police department. But
Yeah.
I know they have. But is that? Do people use that?
Oh, when we're at football, if kids got to go, it's usually, if we have one down there, they use that, but they'll go up to the police department all the time too. So
And you can just go in and out.
Oh, yeah.
There. Okay.
public buildings, fire station, police station.
Yeah. So usually, like, the
Stop it.
town hall is open, like, but it's only open, till
It's
4.
like 4.
Right. Yeah, I mean, even like Halloween.
And then the bathhouse is open.
Halloween, I was
During the
walking
summertime, but
from Jenkins Ave over here, and
yeah.
stopped in. My son needed to go, so we stopped in the police station at like 8:00 at night. So
I gotta
Right.
go to that one day. The Jenkins
It's so
thing.
cool.
It's so
it's awesome.
crazy.
They do a great job.
I see the pictures. It's like insane. It looks better than Barrett's haunted house.
Gosh, you're on camera saying that, Ryan.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
so bold.
I'm sorry. Wait. No, it is.
Oh, take
It is. That's propping Whitman up. That's good.
All right.
All right. So that's the field update, and now I guess we're up for open discussion, which I know Joe has some info for us.
well, I mean, we don't. After hearing all the budget stuff, I don't know. If
Well, you can still present, like.
Sure.
That'd be cool to hear.
I mean, I plan on doing this. I'm trying to do this anyways, so just looking. I figured it'd be a good place to bring it. I've just talked with some other programs, soccer and lacrosse, and because nobody ever used to use Memorial that much. I mean, I've been running the football program for like 8 years now, and every once in a while there's a soccer game or something going on. Not lacrosse is starting to use it more, but
Like in the fall, do you mean?
yeah, like when it's not
you
football
bet.
season, it's pretty rare. You drive by the field just empty, and it's an awesome field. So I think that we could upgrade it as a town, in my opinion, and just do a couple minor things and make it a really nice field for soccer, lacrosse, football to use as like a main field for their seasons. And I mean, there's a crisis of fields in Whitman right now too. So
It definitely is, yeah.
so I just did. I put some stuff together because my football program has been asking for these specific things for years, but we don't just have the funds, obviously. So I wanted to go to the town and see if they'd help. I know you mentioned that the DPW usually.
Yeah, so in the
There's stuff
past,
like
and this was before my time, but the dugouts that were created at the baseball field, that was like a fundraising
Right.
thing that they did, but the DPW like helped install them.
Yeah.
The DPW helped with the CPA fund, so that was another thing that I thought of was because you can apply for the CPA. I just don't know whether something like this is approved for the CPA. If you're like bettering something, that's fine. So we can look into that. Was another option that we can look into for that. That was what I thought of after I read this again. That CPA, we don't have a member anymore, do we?
No, we're not.
Well, CPC.
CPC, sorry.
Yeah.
Did I say CPA? I meant the
Yeah. Well,
CPC.
I have to talk because I'm chair now. That's what Michelle did. So I just automatically assumed that I would assume that role.
Yeah, well, Angela was because she was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We talked
and
about
then
that.
she
yeah.
was the person who was because you were doing the open space one.
Yeah. Which that'll be wrapping up in.
So for the recreation
months.
commission, there needed to be a member of like all the departments from each commission on this is it CPC, the Community Preservation Committee. There needed to be someone, and then they review like you can apply for different things to better the town, and that's money that is been granted the town to be able to serve. So all of the new picnic tables,
Yep.
we did that not last year but the year before, we put that in and they approved it. And the DPW installed them for us. So we didn't have that
Right.
cost. We had like the cost of the cement and the cost of the actual things, but they put them in. So that was a huge thing. So they've been able to help with that. And like I said, like for the pool, like they've been able to help us with any kind of like pool issues that we've had, or if there's been any issues at the park or anything. They take care of the swing sets. They take care of all of that.
I just from talking with parents and stuff over the years, they wonder why that field doesn't have like some of this stuff, like the field goal posts is a big one, and like just for football alone, because they're trying to get kids to get into more kicking and stuff like that more, and we can't play like official games on that field because we don't have field goal posts. If we did, then we could play official games down there. It would help out, and we wouldn't have to use the high school. I mean, the high school is like a battle basically during football season.
Yeah.
We have to argue with Hanson because they share it too, and everybody else is using it as well. So, if we had field goal posts, I think it would be great for down there. We'd be able to use that field way more. And then that helps soccer too. There's just this dual one that I found. It's the same exact soccer nets that are down there, but basically a field goal post on top of it. So they could move the nets that are down there to another field when it gets opened up. Keep those ones there. And then the scoreboard. This is just a generic one. They're all in that price range, but like the football program pays for the electricity down there. So if the town did approve something, we could get something mounted even on the utility shed that's down there, and then the football program would just be paying that electrical for that. So we wouldn't have to worry about anything like that. I don't know. I thought I would bring this stuff to the town eventually. I know they're not going to listen to me right now with everything else going on, but just kind of had this in my back pocket, so I wanted to share it with you guys as well, because I figure the recreation committee is.
Yes, perfect. It's great.
I think, like, obviously right now the budget's insane. if we were to do something like this moving forward, if we did it through recreation, would it have to be like a shared thing for, so like instead of just football and cheer, would it have to be like all sports using it? Like would it be have to be made available to like soccer and everything?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. Okay.
Yeah, I think they just probably stay down there, and it
Right.
would be. And I mean the nets could just stay. They're already there, and then the scoreboard. There's like with these. This is so crazy now that they have all these different controls for them, but anybody would have access right there to that shed. So
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, we let lacrosse store some stuff down there sometimes too. So you know
What's the scoreboard on batteries?
this specific one has a battery pack
Yeah.
for it that you just charge and then plug it in. But yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you roll it someplace. Take it off.
Yep. And then, so that's just like the rolling part's an extra part. You can just get the actual scoreboard and it's cheaper
Yeah.
and just slap it on the side of the building, you know? So, I don't know. I thought it would be cool.
So is it an
that's-
option to? I know like they've fundraised for different things like that. Is that
Yeah,
an
that's
option
not bad.
too,
Yeah.
or like
I
through
mean-
the different youth organizations?
To
that-
definitely combining,
Right.
doing so like we could probably have football and soccer put something together, and even try and get lacrosse involved if they want to start using it more during their seasons, because like half the kids are playing in Hanson,
Right.
and those fields at Hanson are brutal compared to the Whitman fields. So it would be nice to get more kids down there at Memorial playing. It's a really nice field. DPW does a great job keeping it nice, and I think that
They
it
do.
could be used by more kids in town if a couple things were, and it would be nicer. There's another, like the bleachers down there are falling apart. You know,
Yeah, I was going
parents
to ask
complain
the
about that
condition
all the
of
time.
Which-
So that's
about
like
what?
another, the bleachers down in Memorial Field. They're like
Bleachers, yeah.
60 years old.
Yeah.
So
What are our rules about fundraising? Like if because we always have the donation
So
bin.
we don't really like as a recreation commission, we can't necessarily fundraise, but like other organizations can.
if we
I
did
think
a
I
donation,
don't know the legality about it.
If we did a donation bin at like the 4th of July event instead of for our program, if we did it for this, is that cool? But it's not through us. It would be like they leave donation bins.
You know who'd know about
I also know that we also
I
have
was,
money.
I was hoping that, I know the town doesn't have any money, but my goal was hopefully that the town eventually, if we were to do something like this, that they would maybe like split the cost and the programs could pull some money together, fundraise some money, and then the town maybe.
So we
So-
we don't. The only way that the field fund gets money is by renting the field. So we don't charge any of the youth sports programs to use the fields. They're for any youth organization to use.
Yeah.
I just we schedule the time just so everybody kind of knows when lacrosse is playing, knows when soccer is playing, and knows when baseball is playing, that kind of thing. That's the only thing that we really do. We haven't really had a.
Do we have any sort of advertisement for renting the field? I feel like you'd make a killing because it's open a lot. I feel like throughout the year.
They're able to soccer and baseball can't be happening at the same time.
Right.
So the fields can be rented Memorial Field can be rented on basically Sundays. Because Whitman Little League has it all throughout the week, and then soccer has it on all day Saturday, and they have it on the week. They have it during the week for practice, but that all ends in June.
Yeah, and then you have the summer
And so sometimes in the summer we'll get people like the AAU teams that want to
Right.
use it.
Just adding stuff like this would definitely help that too. People would want to rent it more, I feel like. So
Yeah, we've never really advertised for it, only because it gets so much use by the
from just the town alone, yeah.
So it's only been by word of mouth, I
Right.
guess, that people knew that we had it, and the different baseball clubs would reach out and say, "Can we rent it for this day?" Or
So
Yeah,
this is just an idea that I put together with some stuff. Figured I'd share. But you're right, I think talking to the other programs would be good, and maybe trying to set something up. The other programs that use that field specifically.
Yeah.
Right.
And
which is
I can do
lacrosse,
that.
so it's Whitman Hanson lacrosse, Whitman Hanson youth soccer, football. It's basically the third
Yeah.
that you guys are
Yeah, and I can reach out to all of them.
trifecta.
maybe see if anybody has any ideas of putting something together to get some funds for this.
Yeah, and I think so I'm on the open space and recreation, the Old Colony steering committee for the plan that's being written up for the town, and Memorial Field was a site that was on that, and Jason DeRosa, the person from Old Colony who is leading it, went over there, checked out the stands and stuff like that, and I believe there were comments reflected in like the community surveys about people wanting that field cleaned up, and he's working on writing out the plan. All that really does is kind of open us up for grant funding, so that could be an avenue down the road once this plan is finished. If that's added into the language of the into one of the chapters of this whole giant thing that he's writing for all open space and recreation stuff in the town. So
it's a good idea.
I'll keep in mind when
especially the pictures stands over there. If we could get those.
What's that, Old Colony Planning Council?
Yeah, when I talk with him, because at a recent select board meeting, they were talking about Park Ave School, and there's some stuff that we did for the community survey for that was reflected, like what people want to see that space turned into as well, or done with that space, because nothing's being done with it now. And he's planning. So I'll just like transition into that. He's planning on coming to a recreation meeting soon. So when we set a June date, I'll let him know if he wants to come by, and I'll just let you know ahead of time so we can add it to the agenda.
Sure.
Did you ever think about looking into grants for, you're saying that the grant stands for people to sit in, they're in tough shape, doing right? Maybe, because now they're made out of what, aluminum?
The ones that are down there now are wood still.
Right, wood, right. But I'm
you can
saying,
get aluminum
the one,
ones.
like my grandson plays in Hanson.
Yep.
All those different fields. And they're made out of, I guess, what, aluminum?
Yeah, I guess that, like, the grant would, like he's saying, would go through that process. He's
Right.
already writing the massive grant for the town.
Right,
We can go
and maybe you can add this
Right
and
in
this on the grant.
Right.
Anything to do with, with the sports.
Yep. Get the other sports on board with it, and then present it to the committee for that.
And who on Old Colony is dealing with that grant? Because they have they had a meeting tonight, but I said I couldn't go.
That you're talking about CPC.
Yeah, they had.
This is the Old Colony Planning Council,
Right.
Open space and recreation plan for Whitman.
Yeah, I'm on the Old Colony. I'm vice chair of the Joint Transportation and signatory of the MPO, Old Colony.
Mhm.
So, but that's strictly transportation.
Is there anything else on the
Good job.
agenda? Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh yeah.
Great ideas. No, I think we're good.
So for a June meeting, because of the budget stuff coming in on the 4th, we want to meet earlier in June.
Like the 12th?
12th would work for me, I think. I'm going camping that week, but I don't think we're leaving until Friday. Let me check my calendar.
12th is okay for me too.
It's the day before school's out, so we'll be on cloud nine.
Well, 12th will be after the special town meeting.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's the point to see the results
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah, because if there's any major changes to funding happening after that, maybe we would have a good idea by the 12th, and if we need to vote on anything.
And then I could do the week after too is the Juneteenth. So then I'm open. With the 12th?
That works for me.
Yeah, I'll be working the.
So you guys are meeting the 12th? Meeting the
You want
12th?
to do
Yeah.
it 6?
6 o'clock?
6,
Sounds
okay.
good.
Just later. Do you want to do
6
later?
works.
6? Okay. All right.
Motion to adjourn at 7:14.
Second.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you, Dan, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Nice to see you.
Okay, I just put